Hi there, welcome to Terraland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Libra energy. And like usual, we're going to have two rows. The top row is going to be more of a high vibe Libra energy. The bottom row is going to be a more shadowy, worldly focused Libra energy. For some people, they could be struggling within themselves because we have our dualistic nature and we live in a dualistic world. Anyway, there's going to be some people in the world who are harnessing high vibe Libra energy. There's going to be some people in the world, the truth sets us free to live our life differently when we've learned what we were meant to learn from living our life a certain way and we're ready to move forward in life and face some of our fears and insecurities and self limiting beliefs. We will. Sometimes we don't have a choice. We just know we can't stay where we're at anymore. you know? But and then there's going to be some people who don't want to live their life any differently. They want to keep living their life the way they have, which is fine. It's just that if we want to move forward in life differently, we're willing to face some of our fears and insecurities and move forward in life, and other people aren't, then sometimes, we part ways with people. So, let's see. The reason for the top row reading is they have a dream. And it's also the reason why the reading came out. We could have been in relationships with some other people that had a different dream. High vibe people want to move forward, being emotionally independent in relationships with other people who are emotionally independent, meaning they're independent of their shadow nature. They're more immature, fearful, insecure, codependent, immature, indulgent, addicted, egotistical, materialistic nature, to be more balanced in the Justice Libra card, where it's like, we all have the things of the world that we like and would like to indulge in and enjoy. We all want stability and security and some of the finer things in life. But are we willing to pursue those things in a balanced way where I want to be in loving relationships? I don't think I should have to sacrifice loving relationships for me indulging in things of the world. But if we have some lessons to learn, maybe we'd not be more independent of our more me indulgent nature. So high vibe people want to be in relationships with people who are more independent from their shadow nature and the world, who have done the work to get balance within themselves so they're not tipped out of balance and indulging poor behavior within themselves and in others, who require, that the relationships that they're in, that people treat them in a just and fair manner. And that means you need to be in relationships with other people who are independent of like their egoic nature, which can be people when they're bossy and controlling and manipulative. In the King of Cups, people who take action in the world, listening to their love and intuition to guide them, because that's their truth. And their dream is to be in relationships with other people who are aligned with that truth. The Knight of Swords is Gemini energy, and Gemini energy is a dualistic sign, and it has to do with, we have a dualistic nature. We have the free will choice to either align in our Gemini energy with our more loving, intuitive nature, thinking, that's my truth. That's what I'm going to align with. I believe if I align with my more loving, intuitive, hopeful, believing, creative nature, that I can manifest my dreams into reality. But other people in their Gemini nature align with their more worldly nature. I'm going to work with my more worldly nature, with the world, maybe living more from my mind than my heart. I think that's what I should align with to manifest my dreams into reality. So people have different things that they're motivated and inspired by in their Aries energy. And Aries energy is like the opposite sign on the zodiac wheel from Libra. Some people have to go explore their Aries energy. I kind of think we go out in the world and we kind of go to the extremes in a lot of different things in our life because we have these lessons to learn. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, my heart is running my life, and it kind of drives our life off into the ditch. And other times, maybe the things that we're motivated and inspired by might be more about indulgence or indulging ourselves. And maybe we know some people who aren't very independent, could be codependent on the world or other people for their sense of emotional stability or fulfillment. Maybe they don't like being very just and fair in a relationship. Maybe they don't like to listen to their heart and intuition. Maybe they don't like to have to stand up for themselves. And because other people have dealt with some people who, shadowy Two of Wands can be people who are more aligned with their Aries energy, maybe in a shadowy way, where it's kind of more about themselves. Or maybe there are some other people that we wanted to have a dream come into reality with, but maybe those people are already in their like dream job, dream friendships, dream romantic relationships. And we see the truth of it. We're independent, we're balanced, we listen to our heart and intuition to keep moving forward in truth. If other people aren't able to move forward with us in relationship, we're not going to let it stop us or throw us down into negative energy. We're going to keep moving forward, maintaining our balance, listening to our intuition, to keep putting in, looking to the future and believing that the divine has a plan for our life. The reason for the shadowy reading is their truth might be that they're more motivated and inspired by the world, or maybe they don't want to become emotionally independent. Maybe they don't like just and fair relationships. All those things I said. So here we have the Six of Wands, or the Six of Pentacles and the Devil. So the Six of Pentacles can talk about swapping one foundation for another foundation, and we all have free will. And some people have swapped aligning with hope and faith and belief and love for the world. The devil can represent the world. I don't think I can manifest my dreams, or I don't even want to do love. You know, some people don't want to do love because they get hurt. Some people aren't motivated and inspired by love. Some people are really motivated and inspired by the world, which is represented by the devil. Because of the Ten of Pentacles, some people, their addiction is the world, which the Ten of Pentacles can be indulgence. I want to go indulge myself in the world. I don't want to do love. I don't want to be just and fair. I don't want to listen to my heart and my intuition. Life's about indulging in the world. Page of Cups and the Eight of Cups. Some people are codependent on some people in their life or just the world. But some people have some growing up and maturing to do. The Eight of Cups walks away from the Seven of Cups to become the Nine of Cups. And there's some people, in order to move forward in their life differently, there's some things they'd have to walk away from. And right now, those things are their truth. And the truth could be, they could have a lot of growing and maturing to do in life. Some of them might be young. And we've all got to do that, right? We've all got to learn lessons in life. We all want to go indulge in those things of the world. And, you know, we can try to tell people that, I don't know, you might get burned doing that, but everybody, just like the rest of us, you got to learn your lessons the hard way. And over time, you know, the whole thing is about, one thing about our shadow nature is we could look outside of ourselves for the answer. Like we look to other people for our sense of stability and security instead of learning to love ourselves, get balanced within ourselves, stand up for ourselves, believe in ourselves. We could still be codependent on other people in our life for our sense of stability and security. Some people aren't ready to walk away from those people in their life, if that's a original family group, a friend group, a work group, or whatever, to be more emotionally independent from them. And until they're ready and feel like they can, you know, be more emotionally stable on their own, know how to fill their own cup emotionally, you know, get balance within themselves, stand up for themselves, believe in themselves, it's just part of learning lessons in life. Shadowy energy can also talk about repeating a pattern of the past, and we'll repeat a pattern until we see the truth that we were meant to learn. And some people could be used to being in relationships where maybe people encourage people to be codependent. Maybe used to being in relationships with people who could be kind of bossy or controlling or manipulative, or they use their things of the world to keep people codependent on them. And, it's kind of like being caught up in the illusion of the world and maybe not believing in yourself that you can manifest your dreams into reality, and that maybe some of the people who are trying to manipulate and control you and keep you codependent really don't have your best interest at heart, because high vibe energy is about being free, and it's about living your authentic life and growing yourself to your full potential. Sometimes we have people in our life and friends and family members who they're not becoming more emotionally independent of the world. They're not listening to their intuition. They're not speaking their truth. They could be staying in friendships and relationships and marriages and all those things because they're not willing to be more independent. Some people look to the world to validate their sense of worth and value, and they're not very independent in the world. And if the world seems to say, at least in their mind, you have to do this and you have to do that for us to view you a certain way, then they're willing to do those things because they're really still codependent on the world validating their worth and value. But other people could just be repeating an old pattern, and part of repeating that pattern, they don't maybe think that, but it is to try to get them to see the truth. If we haven't learned to love and believe in ourselves and learned how to balance ourselves out, offering ourselves love and compassion and forgiveness for the mistakes we've made, that life is about learning lessons. We're going to make mistakes. And if you learn the lessons and you grow and mature yourself emotionally and you're standing in your truth and believing in yourself, that takes time. And some people weren't willing to do that, and some people have already walked away from some people like this, and they've become independent of them, and they've spoken their truth. Because if we stay in relationship with other people that are either manipulated by their worldly nature, shadowy Taurus, they could be stubborn or prideful. The devil, they could be self-centered, they could be bossy, controlling, abusive, self-centered. Ten of Pentacles, they could be very materialistic. Some people still have a lot of lessons to learn about the world and the things of the world still really got a hold on them. And it has such a hold on them, it's kind of like where they're not standing up for themselves and kind of even maybe gave up on their dreams, because shadow energy can be about getting so caught up in the things of the world or the illusion of the world, because the things of the world are meant to be enjoyed, but they're not meant to take the place of love, which is the truth. But some people really think those things of the world will make them happy. Just like people can look to drugs or alcohol or all those things, or gambling or sex. I'm sure that will make me happy. But if you don't love yourself and you've made those things of the world like the answer to your problems, I don't have to walk away. I don't have to be more independent. I don't have to learn how to love myself. I don't have to get balance within myself. I don't have to love myself. I don't have to speak my truth. I can just indulge in these things of the world and I'm sure I'll be happy. Well, the devil lies, and we live in this dualistic world, and I think the whole point of having our dualistic nature and living in a dualistic world is to learn that love was the answer, that we have our more worldly me, which is kind of like the devil, me nature, that if we keep thinking that's the answer and I can do what I want and indulge myself and it's more about me and either staying in my fear or my insecurity or my indulgence or my addictions or my lust or my greed, we can try to live life like that, but we're probably going to have a lot of people walk away from us because we are kind of emotionally invested in our more stubborn, immature, prideful, egotistical, defensive, lazy, wanting to be indulged nature. And if you're going to work with other people, it has to be more balanced. you know, Everybody has things that they want in the world. And if we're going to work with other people, we have to realize that everybody has dreams that they want and everybody has the things that they want, and that we need to work together cooperatively for the common goal in a balanced manner, maintaining our independence, realizing that everyone has their own unique things that motivate and inspire them, and that we treat each other the way we like other people to treat us, and we let love and intuition guide our actions, not, well, I just want someone to exchange resources with me in a relationship, like hugs and kisses. I want to be indulged in a relationship. I want money and materialism. And some people are willing to indulge other people who are like that for those things, or just because they're just not willing to be more independent. So they could even stay in a relationship that's very unhealthy, where people are kind of abusing maybe their more vulnerable, naive, loving nature. And, we can all, and probably have, gotten in relationships with people that we thought it was going to be this just and fair and loving, and our dream was going to come into reality. And then we found out we got in a relationship where it seemed maybe more transactional, where, well, you give me that and I'll give you this. Let's indulge in this relationship. Maybe by worldly standards, it looks great. It looks like we got it all. We should just keep doing this because neither one of us wants to walk away and be independent, because then we'd have to love and believe in ourselves and believe in our dreams and stand up for ourselves. And who wants to do that? Let's just keep investing in this kind of unhealthy workplace or relationship. But eventually it's emotionally confusing. The Eight of Cups walks away from the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups can be about it's emotionally confusing. And it's just not our wish fulfillment. We thought it, when we look to the things of the world to be the answer, again, the things of the world are meant to be enjoyed, but from a place of love, because then they don't get such a hold on us, because we don't think they're the answer to our problems. Being in a relationship is being in a relationship. Having a friend is having a friend. Having a job is having a job. But we don't, or, enjoying some drinks or doing whatever, it doesn't have such a hold on us that we become so codependent on it, because we don't love and believe in ourselves and keep believing in our dreams, that we've made those things so important to us that we don't dare leave them. And some people prey on that. Some people use their money and materialism. Don't you want the things of the world that I have? Can't I be bossy and controlling and manipulative or immature or indulgent or whatever? You won't walk away, will you? Because you want these things of the world that I have, right? Which is kind of what the devil says. Come exchange resources with me. I'll give you all these things of the world. You'll be happy. And then we get in it and we have a lot of these things of the world, and we're kind of feel emotionally confused because we thought it would bring us happiness. And if we get in a relationship, the devil can mean someone we're attracted to. We get in a relationship with them and we think, oh my gosh, I'm like so attracted to them, and I think they're just great, and we have the stability or security or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And we think but high vibe people who are loving think that eventually the dream's going to come into reality, because the Eight of Cups goes to the Nine of Cups, which is an emotionally fulfilling relationship. And then we can find out that some of the people that we got in a relationship is kind of like they can use the love that we have for them to try to manipulate us, or again, use their things of the world that they have to try to manipulate and control us. It's like getting you in a trap and then hoping you won't walk away and love and believe in yourself to not settle for less. And then people can get spoiled in a relationship too. It's like, I bet because we got in a relationship, possibly got married, possibly had children, all this stuff, I bet if I start becoming bossy or cold or detached or mean or whatever, male or female, I bet they won't walk away, because shadowy energy is kind of being in our ego. And then some people are very loving and nurturing, and they put a lot of work and effort into trying to make a relationship work. And just like anything, we get a job, we have a friendship, we have a romantic relationship, we'd really like that relationship to work out instead of having to leave. But eventually, even really loving people kind of hit their limit. And it's like, I can't stay here anymore. I've seen the truth. You're spoiled, you're selfish, you're bossy, you're controlling, you're trying to manipulate me. I'm being authentic and loving, and you're being, I don't know, something not that. I kind of view the Seven of Cups as people who create an illusion. They create the illusion it's going to be this high vibe relationship. Your dreams are going to come into reality. So then you invest in it, because it does seem to have a lot of the things that we're looking for in the world. It has stability and security. We can be attracted. And then, but the dream never comes into reality. It's kind of like they want to keep moving forward in like a shadowy Nine of Cups, not a high vibe Nine of Cups. A shadowy Nine of Cups where it's about them indulging themselves in the relationship. It's more about me, my wants, my needs, my lust, my greed, my pride, my ego, or I'm defensive, or I'm fearful, or I'm insecure. You're just supposed to keep indulging me in my shadowy energy. That's how I want to keep moving forward. That's my truth. And they don't ever plan to offer themselves that cup of love. Other people can be really loving and encouraging to people. Come on, let's go. Let's go bring the dream into reality. And the other people are like, no, that's not really my truth. And everybody has free will. And if we see the truth that they're not willing to move forward in life being more independent from maybe their more immature nature, materialistic, selfish, greedy, repeating old patterns. And, if people haven't learned the lessons that they were meant to learn in life and other people have, the other people are ready to move on to the next phase of life. Like, I've been here, I've done that. Whatever manipulates and controls you doesn't manipulate and control me. And whoever in your life maybe manipulates and controls me, they don't manipulate and control me. And if I keep staying in a relationship with you, the things that do manipulate and control me, I have to let them be like a third party in our relationship. And I don't find that fulfilling. But you seem to have a big codependency on them or the world or your fear or your insecurity or your greedy nature or immature nature that you want to indulge. Whatever it is, I'm leaving. And some of you already did leave workplaces and friendships and romantic relationships like that. Some people are just seeing the truth about some situations they're in. And we can all be at different phases in life, right? It's kind of like ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. You have to learn the lessons and pass the classes, kind of go to the next level of life. I have conquered, or if you looked at life as a video game where you have to overcome certain obstacles to get to the next level of life. Um, some of you already left some relationships, became independent of some situations in your life. You want your divine inheritance, basically, which is if I'm emotionally independent and I'm not acting in selfish, greedy, prideful, egotistical, immature, manipulative, bossy, controlling ways of being, I don't want to be in a relationship with people who are like that. And I want to be in relationships with other people who listen to their heart and intuition, who've also become independent and gotten balanced within themselves and learned to love themselves, who are aligned with truth and love and justice and fairness. And you could have communicated to some people who, harness the same type of Aries energy that you have the same dream that you have. And you're going to keep believing in your dreams and looking to the future and speaking your truth and believing in yourself and maintaining your balance and your independence. Some other people might still be being tempted by the world. We have Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo energy here. All three of the earth sign energies. So very much aligned with their more worldly nature instead of really being caught up in the illusion of the world, sure that the things of the world will make them happy. And they just haven't seen the truth. They're caught up in the illusion or the addiction of their codependency or their ego. And they might have a lot of lessons to learn, because from the 1 cup to the 8 of cups would be the 7 of cups. That might be 7 lessons they need to learn. And it takes time to learn lessons. How long did it take for people to get out of some of their insecurities or self-limiting beliefs or negative self-talk or, it could take a long time for some of those people. Other people could have been putting in work with some people while also putting in work and effort to do this work within themselves, and some of those people are ready to become more independent too. Let's ask, what does the page, a shadowy page of cups, someone who could be either have illusions about love and they can kind of live in fantasy land. Or have some people they're very attached to. What does a shadowy page of cups have to say? 2 of swords, because of the Queen of Wands. So the 2 of swords is Libra energy. They feel stuck because of a Queen of Wands, which in shadow, the Queen of Wands means they're more egoic nature. They're more aligned with their more worldly, egoic, competitive, in the world nature, driven more by money and materialism and competing in the world. And for some of them, they might be attached to a foundation that operates more from shadowy Leo energy, which could be a foundation that kind of emotionally manipulates them. And they haven't seen the truth of it yet because they love those people. So it can be hard to see the truth that some of the people in your life really don't want you to become all that you can be or to go live your life differently. Because if they live their life like this, where they just keep moving forward, caught up in the illusion of the world, or, look how wonderful life is, look how victorious and successful we are, but they're not, it's kind of more of a emotionally shallow, superficial life instead of being more independent in the world where you're more authentic and bold and brave and speaking your truth and just not being manipulated by the world or your fear or your ego. And the Queen of Wands can mean represent the other man, other woman also. So, needless, when we're kind of tempted by our worldly or egoic or codependent nature, we're going to have other people in our life that are happy we're that way, whether they're siblings, family members, friends, romantic interests, because then we'll indulge them in a relationship. And some of these people basically have people who are able to manipulate them because there's things about that they're more aligned with than being, because it takes work and effort to become more independent in the world and offset your fears and insecurities to get balance within yourself. And some people just don't want to put in the work and effort. you know, you don't learn to love yourself and offset your fears and insecurities just overnight. It takes a lot of time and effort to get to where you've learned to love yourself and believe in yourself and start trusting your intuition and listening to your intuition instead of your fear or your insecurity or your ego or your lust or your greed. What does the devil have to say? So right now they're attracted to people either because they're repeating a pattern of being in relationship with people who are kind of unloving, manipulative, prideful, egotistical. They could be trying to get people who are like that to validate their worth and value because they could have grown up with people who are kind of a little unhealthy, and they're still trying to get people who are like that, like I want to win, and they subconsciously are drawn and attracted to people like that. Like, I'm going to make this type of person love me this time I'm going to win. When I was maybe a child in a foundation like that, they didn't love me the way I wish they would have and appreciate me. And this time it could be like a romantic partner. So, it's not my mom or my dad, but they remind me of them. And if I can get them to, even though they're like them, I now can get in a romantic relationship because it's not my mom or my dad or whatever. And I can get them to love me. And they're still chasing people who basically have already probably shown them they're not very just and fair. They're not loving. They're not maybe very warm, very nurturing. They might be very prideful and egotistical and materialistic. And they keep, it's kind of like fighting a non winning battle because you're already picking someone who's already shown you, I'm not who you want me to be. And when they see that, oh my gosh, and kind of like realize this, like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that till now that you remind me of so and so, or you remind me of these other people who treated me this way. And I've been trying to like win. And I don't have to win with people like that. I just see the truth. I accept that you're maybe not very loving and nurturing. Why would I need to try to get you to love me to validate my worth and value? I need to love me. I need to know my own worth and value, that I don't have to take it personally when people are unjust, unfair, unloving, selfish, bossy, snooty, controlling, abusive. It doesn't say anything about my worth and value, but that's what, as children, we can take it as like, I'm not worthy. That's why they're not loving me. And it's like, no, they have their own free will choice. And we need to get out of the illusion that it has something to do with our worth and value. They make their own free will decisions. And if they choose, loving people choose to be loving. Warm, giving people are warm and giving. Nurturing and just and fair people are nurturing, just and fair. It doesn't have anything to do with us. That's just issues to do with them. They've either won the battle to be a loving, nurturing, warm, giving, just, fair person, or they haven't freed themselves from it. And to think that, like, oh no, I got to make them love me, well, when are we going to love ourselves and give ourselves the things that we wish other people would have given us and stand up for what we believe in and go pursue the people in the world who are motivated and inspired to be just and fair and loving? But what's the devil have to say? So we live in a world of duality. High vibe energy represented by God wants us to love ourselves, to get balanced within ourselves, to listen to our intuition and speak our truth and believe in our dreams. And shadow energy, represented by the devil, wants us to exchange that foundation for the things of the world. It'll make you happy, but then it can make us codependent. And, the devil's about imprisoning you and enslaving you and restricting you and oppressing you, basically trying to make you give up on your dreams and give up on the truth, to make you think that the devil or the world and the things of the world are the answer to your life. No, love is the answer to your problems. The devil says the Nine of Swords, the King of Wands, the Knight of Cups, because of the Queen of Pentacles. The devil's in a mental prison about people taking bold, brave, confident action in love, because the devil's emotionally invested in the world and their more materialistic nature, and they don't like it and are fearful and afraid of other people loving themselves and maybe emotionally loving themselves and getting in relationships with more emotionally mature people. So people could be communicating with people, trying to tempt them to not listen to their intuition. If people are in loving, nurturing, just, fair, balanced relationships, the devil and anybody in the world could be trying to get people to don't move forward in truth and love and listening to your intuition and believing in your dreams. Come back here and exchange resources with me. I want to be a marriage partner to you. And if people are in a loving relationship, even if someone else who's loving, they meet somebody, say at work or wherever, a social acquaintance, that person doesn't have to be a shadowy person, but that person can kind of represent shadowy energy. If someone's in a loving, nurturing, good relationship, to get in a relationship or think of investing in anybody would be a temptation that at least puts them down in shadowy energy, even if the person who might be a temptation to them, that's not their intent. But the ones who are shadowy, the people who are shadowy and kind of in their ego, sometimes if somebody walked away from them, they don't like that those people might be moving forward in something new. So then they could communicate with someone, basically trying to stop them from moving forward in their life. So even like some of you who are moving forward in your life, the fact is we live in a world of duality. Negative energy is always around trying to stop you. And even if it's not other people, it's your own mind, your own me nature that will try to stop you from loving and believing in yourself. Because if we kind of let our more loving, intuitive nature drive our life, in the driver's seat of our life. Our shadow nature kind of has to be in the back seat, and our shadow nature wants to be in the front seat driving our life because we're not indulging it, being like immature and impulsive and all that stuff. So, but just like we do have our shadow nature is kind of reflected in other people in the world who also then could come into our life trying to stop us from listening to our intuition. So I would say, and they could be people from our past, they could be people we meet as we move forward. I would say it's nothing to be worried about. Just listen to your intuition about people you meet. Maintain your balance, maintain your independence, offer people, work together with people in a truthful, authentic manner, balanced manner. Don't let people tempt you in your lust and your greed and your pride and your ego and your materialistic nature. Tell people what your dream is. I want to move forward with people who are independent in the world, people who are balanced, people who take action, listening to their heart and intuition. And that might be enough to scare off a whole bunch of people. It's like, oh shit, I thought I could just tempt you in your lust or greed for a little bit and indulge my immature nature in a relationship with you. It's like, no, I've been there and done that, and I've already seen the truth of that. That doesn't work out the way I want. So I need to be in relationships with people who've done this work within themselves. So what's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Libra energy that they might not see coming? Well, a card flipped out, not showing itself, and the reason it came out is because of the Chariot card, which is about getting in the driver's seat of your life, taking the reins of your dualistic nature, not letting either one drive your life off into the ditch, not enabling poor behavior in yourself and not enabling poor behavior in others, basically. Out of a place of love for yourself, maintaining your balance. And it's also a card of moving forward victoriously. And this card could talk about, this is a process to become more independent and get more balance within ourselves and speak our truth and learning to trust our intuition as we move forward. I would say this could be something that you're cutting out of your life that was shadowy. Queen of Swords in reverse. Well, you could have cut some people out of your life who don't look at life from a higher perspective. People who don't want to speak their emotional truth. People who could have been kind of self-centered and egotistical or harsh or cold. And for a long time, when we can deal with people who are kind of manipulative or prideful or hurtful or unkind, we can feel betrayed, which is what the Queen of Swords can talk about. And I think by loving yourself and maintaining balance within yourself and listening to your intuition, I think what some people don't know about you, which is what a card can mean when it isn't showing itself, some people don't know that you don't feel betrayed anymore. You've moved on from love. Love helped you heal to get out of feeling betrayed, and you're just moving forward now. And some people who might want to come to talk to you, which the Knight of Swords would be sent by, say, a King of Swords, who could have been someone who you felt was a counterpart to you at one time in the past in their Libra energy, someone who you thought would be just and fair, and they maybe weren't. And so then you felt betrayed. Some of those people don't know that you don't feel betrayed anymore. And so they might pop up in your life or trying to present themselves as a loving person to you, trying to tempt you, hoping you do still feel betrayed and that you still dream of being in a relationship with them. And you don't. And I think you'll speak your truth and you'll keep moving forward, believing in your dreams and to go move forward with other people who either didn't ever make you feel betrayed because you've maybe never been in a relationship with them, or people who you feel really are authentic and loving and truthful, and also have gotten over feeling betrayed by other people in their past. And you might also be defending yourself if you know there's someone in your life who would maybe think it's just and fair to indulge in a relationship with you, trying to wear their false mask that they harness high vibe Cancer energy when they don't. It's just more of a mask that they wear. I think you have your sword up. It's like, nope, nobody's coming towards me and moving forward with me unless they're really in the driver's seat of their life. Not someone who just wears a false mask. Now, some people could have gotten in a relationship with someone and then they walked away from that person because maybe that relationship wasn't what they thought it was. And then they thought, I have an idea. I'll come back up here and try to get the loving people back in a relationship with me. And some of the loving people, just like you might be telling some people from your past, no, sorry, I've moved on. You might be a perfectly lovely person now, but I've moved on. You might have people in your life that you might try to communicate with that might tell you, I hope the best for you and I'm glad you learned your lesson from that, but I've moved on. We can all at different times in our life have pushed away loving, encouraging, supportive people in our life. And hopefully if it's friends or family or siblings or parents, we're able to extend a lot more grace to those people. But if it was a romantic relationship, it might be like, sorry, I got burned. So I'm glad you're no longer doing that. And I hope everything works out for you. But I've just moved on. I don't even feel betrayed anymore. I wish you peace, but I'm moving on. Okay, what's coming up for the people who might harness some more shadowy or worldly focused Libra energy? Some of them right now are trying to make an offer to someone. The devil can also mean either someone who has those things of the world or someone, there is a lot of financial stability there, but it might be someone who the devil can represent someone who's kind of in fear or insecurity or codependency, or just might not love and believe they can manifest their dreams into reality. And they might try to get in a relationship with someone like that to get them to move forward, kind of in indulging them in a relationship. And the person they want to get in a relationship could be really wondering if the person who's making them an offer, they would like to be maybe a marriage partner to someone, but they could wonder if this person is more manipulative and controlling, possibly, for some. For others, they're making an offer to someone who is presenting themselves as a kind of a more loving, nurturing person, but they could really be more about themselves, and they're going to reciprocate with them. And the person who's making them the offer doesn't see the truth that this person is going to teach them some lessons that they might have gotten themselves in a relationship with someone who reminds them of the very people that made them defensive to believing in love anyway. And the whole point is to try to get them to see the truth, because so far they have been defensive to seeing the truth. So what's coming up for some of the people? We have the Five of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Ace of Pentacles, because of the Ten of Swords. So the Five of Pentacles means that someone, well, for one, some of the shadowy people in the world who might have been kind of unjust, unfair, unloving, bossy, controlling, immature, whatever, in a relationship with some loving people, what they maybe didn't see coming is that the loving people have detached from them. They learned the lesson they were meant to learn. They listened to their intuition. and they've invested in a new beginning. And so, just like some of you might have gotten out of some relationships, go to approach some people, and some of those people are like, sorry, I moved on. You also are going to be doing that with some of the people from your past who might want to have a new beginning with you because you've moved on, you know? And it's like, I've learned the lesson I was meant to learn from in a relationship with you, and I'm moving on. And some of the shadowy people did not expect that some people would keep loving and believing in themselves because they're repeating an old pattern again. And so they didn't think people would move forward in life differently. Another thing they might not see coming is someone does want to move forward with them. Maybe because something in their life didn't work out, but they could be hiding that the reason they want to move forward with this person is they might be someone who lives more from their mind than their heart too. And they don't like have hope and faith and belief in their dreams. And it is more about, the truth is, it is more about money and materialism, or indulging myself in a relationship, or trying to emotionally manipulate people to get what I want. And I think, when we take action out of shadowy energy, we're taking action out of pride or ego or immaturity or defensiveness or vengefulness or whatever, ego, competitive energy or whatever, it's not going to turn out the way we thought it was going to. And the whole point is to try to get us to learn see the truth, and to realize I need to quit repeating this pattern, and I need to invest in the truth, and I need to quit repeating that pattern if I don't want to keep having relationships end on me. If they're shadowy and they try to present themselves as loving to loving people, eventually the loving people see through the illusion that the dream isn't going to come into reality, and they end the relationship. So if they're shadowy, they should quit trying to present themselves as being something they're not, and they should go invest in people who live life the way they live it. If you're immature and impulsive, go get in a relationship with someone who's immature and impulsive. If you have addictions, go get in a relationship with someone who's got addictions. If you're materialistic, go get in a relationship with someone else who's motivated by materialism. Go find people who are on the same page as you. But even if you get in a relationship with people who are on the same page as you, if it's in shadowy energy, because people aren't building a foundation from a place of love and belief in themselves, it's probably going to end painfully. Even if one person is loving, getting in a mismatched relationship, if those people aren't willing to see the truth and be more just and fair and truthful and authentic and whatever in the relationship, eventually the high vibe people are going to love themselves and leave. So, some people have learned some lessons. They're moving forward. Other people haven't learned some lessons that some other people have learned, and they're going to repeat a pattern because they're sure we always think what we do is just and fair and right. And that's what they think is the truth. And they're going to go invest in it. I just don't think it's going to work out the way they think they think it will. So there you go, Libra energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.